Hi and welcome, it's Ruth here at Artful Stampin. Welcome to the replay of my video tutorial that I did live, and thank you for popping in. If you're new to the channel, please do remember to hit that subscribe button, as it's a great way for you to stay in touch with kind of what I'm doing and to be notified of new videos. So today landed on my desk this thing here, and I know it doesn't look very much but this is a kind of, I guess, a less expensive version of a jelly plate. All right, so I went to create, what's the name of the website? Crafts Stash. I presume it's .co.uk, I think. I basically looked up Lavinia stamps because it was Lavinia, I wanted to purchase some of her products. And on their website, they do sell the official jelly plate. And this one, which is called John Next Door Media Plate. So I went to call it jelly plate just now on the description and realised actually they don't even call it a jelly plate. They call it the media plate. And I thought it was quite inexpensive. It was £9.50 or £9.49 for this size, which is actually quite large. It's virtually A5, which is half an A4 in UK sizing. So it's 15 centimetres by 20 centimetres. So just under half an A4. So for those in America, it's just under 8 inches by 6 inches, just under. So if you've never encountered one of these before, do keep watching. Just a disclaimer, this is the first time I've actually ever played with one myself. So just so you know, I'm no expert by any means. I just watched a few tutorials by Lavinia Stamps, who's a British company that's, over the years, I've just followed her a little bit. I don't earn anything by telling you about her, and sorry, knocked the phone there. And I did succumb and purchase this gorgeous little fairy stamp, and I'll show you what it looks like. I had a little play this morning. Look at her. Isn't she gorgeous? She's so pretty. Then the other thing that I did was I also purchased the cardstock that I see the lady who does the tutorials on Lavinia Stamps. I think it's Lavinia. Well, I don't think her name is Lavinia. I'm going to have to just check. This is her, what she calls the multifarious cardstock. And I did a comparison with the Stampin' Up cardstock. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with her cardstock because I think it's really good quality, but I'm also really pleased to confirm that I think our cardstock is the same, if not better. So this is the multifarious. This is the one that Lavinia Stamps uses an awful lot for this technique, and this is ours. And I don't know, I really like both. And I would say ours is probably a little bit cheaper, I think. So there we go. Anyway, I've still got all this cardstock to go through. So I will keep playing. I keep telling myself that I don't need a gel plate. I know, all I did for ages. And then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to treat myself and have a little play and see. Now, the other thing that you will need is some brayers. Well, you certainly need one brayer, if not two. And I would recommend these ones that have got the rubber rollers because they've got the nice firm roller on there. Now, we used to sell these, and I believe that whichever's my oldest one, I think this is the actual one that I got from Stampin' Up many, many years ago, because this is what we used to use. And then Stampin' Up stopped selling them, but you can still purchase them. They're not made by Stampin' Up. They are made by Speedball, and you can still purchase these. So this is the 4-inch roller. So there we go. You know what, Martina? That does not surprise me that you've already got one. So I'm going to use some Stampin' Up products on my so-called jelly plate or media plate, and show you how you can get some really divine results. I had a play with some these are retired brush shows. So these are brush shows that Stampin' Up used to sell. Now, brush shows as a company are still very much available in the UK and throughout the world. So if you want to use brush shows, you can do. But I'm also going to experiment using some of the Stampin' Up inks as well. All right, so we'll have a bit of a play tonight and see what happens and see what you prefer and get a bit messy. It's pretty messy on my desk already because I didn't tidy up from this morning after I played. But I do want to just protect my little bit of fake wood wallpaper underneath, because that's what I use for taking photographs. So I'm just going to spread my things out a little bit there. Right, there we go. Right, hello and welcome everybody. Great to see you on. Just say a quick welcome to you. I'm using my daughter's tablet. I'll get some live chat up. So hi Wanda, Liz, Melanie, Monica, Martina, Freedom, Sheila, Jenny McCormack, hello. Kai Christine, Dee Dee, Kerry, Sheila, loads of you. Hello, nice to see you all. I have brush shows, and what were the in colours called? Sprinkles. Yes, I have those too. So I thought I'd have a little go with the brush shows and the sprinkles, because some of you may still have got these. So I do have them here to have a play with, and I do recommend that you have something to mix the brush shows in with some water, because you do need to do that. And then get a big thing of water. I was over this morning. I was so eager to play that the only water I had on my desk was this water that my morning warm water that I usually drink, and I couldn't be bothered to go to the kitchen, so I thought, stuff it, I'm just going to use that one. So I did. Oh, and I would say a rag as well. You do want a rag just to sort of clean up and tidy up. Right, so the first thing to do is to get some of your favourite colours. So let's go for, oh, should we go for a bit of Calypso Coral? Maybe going into Blushing Bride. Maybe going into red afterwards, so we'll see what happens. And now you can do this where you get the two lined up together and you get a bit of ink on both sides. So remember, always stroke from the top to the bottom and then move it from top to bottom or the other way around. It's up to you. I've got particularly juicy pads there, and then you're just going to do the same again to get the colour on. And then if you move slightly to the side and slightly back again, you then get this lovely blending of the two colours. Okay, you can see that sort of happening. And then you may decide, okay, I want that a little bit darker, so I'm just going to add a little bit of Poppy Parade. And because this is the side that I use the Calypso Coral, I'm just going to swipe that a little bit into my Poppy Parade there. Like that, just so that I can get a little bit of the extra colour. And I'm just going to move it around. And then blending that downwards. Okay, right. And then play some of those up. Now I'm going to grab some of the red brushes. I'm just going to add a few more sprinkles into there. Get a bit of water. There we go. Just activate those crystals. And then I'm just going to, oop, there's quite big splatters, but never mind. Just create some splatters over the top there. I fancied a little bit more yellow in this, so I'm just going to have some yellow. Sprinkle that on. Hi Linda. Hi, this is a gel plate. Yeah, so this is not the official jelly plate, but it's one called John Next Door Media Plate. Okay, so now this is the multifarious cardstock. This is not Stampin' Up, but I'm only using it because I now have it, because I bought it. And then I'm just going to pop that over the top like that. Get my clean brayer, because I do have one, but if you've only got one, don't worry about it, just use the both. And I'm just going to roll over the top like that, really firmly, to kind of transfer all that lovely ink and all those lovely splatters. I hope you like splatters, because It's going to be splatter heavy today. There we go. Ooh. Ooh, now I think I had a little bit too much water in the yellow. But anyway, that's super fun, isn't it? Look at that. Right, let's do it again. Let's do something else. Should we go for a different colour this time? What should we do? See, each time is going to end up different. So for you guys who are a bit of like control freaks out there who don't, you know, who like to plan your designs, this is really not for you. This is more of a kind of see how it turns out. Do you want to see that again? You're all reacting really well to that. There we go. Right, I fancy something... Ooh, should we go for something bluey? Let's go for some... Oh, what about balmy blue going into Highland Heather? Should we try that? Right. I'm gonna try and just make a few backgrounds and then we'll do some stamping. So balmy blue and Highland Heather. Oh, excuse me a second, sorry, I've just noticed I've got a little hair on there. Just got to make sure this is all nice and clean. Well, as clean as possible. Right, so scrolling that on. Maybe grab a little bit more ink. Who is that? Hi, Gina. Hi, Clenna. Right, so what have we got now? Should we do some... Got some of this blue. Oh, the other thing I used this morning was an old toothbrush. That's the other thing that you can do to do your splatters with. So let's try that out as well. So you just get your toothbrush. Who remembers doing this at school? Come on, I know that you all did toothbrush painting at school. So it's a very much a finer splatter. Well, I guess if you add a bit more water, it would make it a little bit more of a looser one, but you probably could. It is very, very fine. Should we just try doing some bigger blobs? Oh, they're going everywhere, but on the gel plate. And then I've got a little bit of green left here, so I'm not going to do too much, but I'm just going to perhaps just do a few little blobs. Now I can see that I've blobbed literally water because water has just come from the brush. So it'll be interesting to see what these water droplets are actually going to do. Right. Yes, toothbrush paint. Everyone's done toothbrush painting. It's just one of those things we all have to try doing, isn't it? So. Hi Deborah. Yes, I'm using a jelly plate or this maker's called John Next Door, apparently. It's called a media plate. So I guess, is jelly plate a brand name? I'm not sure. I think it possibly might be. So I can't really call it a jelly plate because it's not that brand, but it's the same as, and it looks like it's a bit thinner. From the ones that I've seen people demonstrate with, like Lindsay from the Frugal Crafter, I've seen her demonstrate with it, and also the lady from Lavinia Stamps, and theirs are much thicker. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? Yes, I know, Navarana. Well, Navarana, I did have a little play with acrylics this morning, guys. This was my first little play using acrylic paint. And I put some yellow and red on, and then I put the Stampin' Up! Mask over the top. Somewhere, like that. And then I rolled off some of the ink. And then I put white acrylic over the top of the plate. So this all happened on the plate. Then I put white acrylic on the plate, and then I put that down and then lifted the print from the jelly plate. Yeah, it's fun. I think it's a sort of technique I'm right at the beginning of my journey, so I really need to play with it a bit more. So I wanted to kind of get immediate results to show you guys. So this, I feel, is a great way to get immediate results where you're not feeling frustrated with the results. So I quite like that. Oh, I didn't show you. This was my first little composition with the holly. So just before you ask, this is not a Stampin' Up stamp. This is one of Lavinia's stamps, not mine, not Stampin' Up. Right, okay, should we do one more and then we'll start doing some stamping, because I'd really like to see how Stampin' Up stamps will look with this. So I grabbed out Nature's Beauty and Wildly Happy, because I thought it'd be quite nice to do some animal things on here. Right, so I'm just going to put those together, get the ink. Is it acrylic? I don't know. I mean, the recipes I've seen to make your own gel plate usually is glycerin, I think. It's like a very thick jelly. I'll show you afterwards, Deborah. It's literally like, you know, when you make jelly and you don't put enough water in it. You know, when you dissolve it. It's like that. Or, you know, when you just get jelly out the packet and it's just like really tough. It's kind of like that, but not sticky. Hasn't got sugar in it. Okay, I just wanted to add some Bermuda Bay to this edge here. Great way to blend things, because I suppose when you're blending and then you're putting onto straight onto paper, what tends to happen is you're very reliant on the ink then soaking in, and then if you make a bit of a boo-boo, you have to kind of keep working it out. Whereas on here, because you know it's such a smooth, even surface, it all gets blended before you actually take the pressing. So this is green. I've just added some Old Olive to this now because I just want to make this a little bit darker down this side. So it's Old Olive going into Pear Pizzazz, then Coastal Cabana, then Bermuda Bay. Okay, so that's that. Oh, now this time what I want to do is see if I can get a good amount of colour from an ink pad. So I'm just pushing, you see I'm pushing my acrylic block into the ink like that. And I'm going to just get a brush. Actually, I'm going to clean that off because it's a bit dirty, that brush. Get some clean water. I'm going to spray some water. There we go. Onto my acrylic block. And just get some of that ink moving a bit. And then I'm going to do my splatters from the ink that's pulled on here. I'll just turn that round so that I get splatters going in another direction. It'll be interesting to see what the Stampin' Up ink, how the Stampin' Up ink reacts. Okay, you know what, I'm just going to clean this up because I can see myself sticking my whole arm in that. I'm so messy. Right, so lay that down on there. The trifle sticky too. I use one of those plates in my sort of stamparatus, so I don't need the magnet plates. Ah, that's a really good idea, Martina. So what you find that the paper stays on here so you don't have to use the magnets. What a great idea. Hi Jeanette, just seen you come on. Sorry if I've missed anybody. If you're watching for the first time, please do say hi. If you're watching the live, you'll know I'm live because the red rectangle is in the top left hand corner, so you know I'm live. Oh, there we go. That's fun. I like seeing that graduation of the colour. Super duper fun. Right, I'm going to tidy up a little bit. I'm just going to put my brayer and everything to the side. Now, I did tidy up a whole load of my little boxes recently, so there's no excuse to just plonk this all in one place. Tidy up my brushes because I don't really need those right now. New style one cheap wonder, yeah. Just going to tidy this up. Yeah, just wash it. Just wash it, yeah. When I got the acrylic paint on it, I just ran sort of warm water over it and it came off. So when it came, to be honest, I've still got the packaging on the bottom attached to it. And I think probably if I'd taken that off, it wouldn't have slipped around so much. So when it came, it had this thick plastic on one side and thick plastic on the other side. And I guess that just protects it as it gets sent to you. And it's kind of like jelly, really. It's just like tough. Slightly sticky, but not sticky, it's more just tacky, I guess. Yeah, keep it in the packaging, says Gina. Okay, Gina, is that a good idea? Is it? Does everything get attracted to it? Oh, I can't seem to get that back on. I think I distorted it a little bit when I ripped it off. Okay, right, well, I'll try and keep it together. Yes, it is thinner. It's not an official jelly. No, it's not jelly plate. It's called John Next Door Media Plate, large rectangle, 15.2 centimetres by 20 centimetres, and it costs £9.49. So it is cheaper than the official jelly plate, and that's why I kind of went for it. Plus, I think they were out of stock, actually, the website I went to. So I just wanted to have a quick play, really, and just see what was available. Okay, so I hope you'll forgive me. I'm going to use a non-Stampin' Up stamp because it's just so pretty. But I will also use some Stampin' Up stamps in a second. Just thought it would be nice to show you this really pretty fairy. So should we do her? I did do the other one in Misty Moonlight. Should I do this one? Oh, actually, no, I'll do her in Pretty Peacock. Oh, it helps to prevent it from drying out. Oh, I didn't know it would dry out. Oh, that's useful to know. So should I just keep it in a plastic kind of grip seal bag then? Yes, or a container. Okay. Thank you. Good tip, Glenna. Oh, Linda. Get it out its packaging. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? So cute. Right, what other image could we go for? Ooh, what about the elephants? Do the elephants? Now there was a technique. Oh, I've got a little tiny spider that was hanging right in front of my face. I think it must be dangling from the my light fitting above me. I was like, what is that? Tiny little money spider. Keep it covered, says Martina. Okay, the gel press plate, that is. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to Linda having a go with it now. Oh, now I think it'd be nice to mask these elephants. And do some funky kind of stamping behind them. Bear with while I just cut this out. Let me read your comments about it all. It may not dry out, but it collects dust and then does not work that good anymore. Okay. Even when you wash it, Martina, does it just not wash properly? See, I'm a gel press newbie, I am. I'm very new to this. I've seen them around for ages and kind of... Oh, sorry, I'm not showing you doing my fussy cutting. I've envied people who use them and the results that they've been getting and thought, oh, I want to have a go. I had a go trying to use our silicone mat, actually, the Stampin' Up! Silicone mat. Ah, okay, Trish, thanks. Good tip. Yeah, I did get okay-ish results from using the silicone mat. It's just different. I did a video, gosh, last summer I think it was, actually. It's going back a while. Yes, it kind of does. Yeah, it does feel a bit rubbery like the photopolymer. Just checking this to see where I need to cut. I've taken 2 sheets of this post-it note so that I will keep it with the stamp set. So I don't need to do this every time I want to have a mask for this elephant. Or these 2 elephants, rather, I should say. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing now. Oh, there we go, that's better. Right, so you've got to kind of like check what you're looking at, because I'm like, now, is that a leg or is that a bit of a space between the leg? Oh no, that is another leg. So that's her leg, and that's baby's leg. Right, okay. Okay, Martina, that's useful to know. So I guess actually by just using one side to start off with is quite a good idea rather than using both sides all in one go. Right, there we go. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was using your circle dies to cut yourself, I don't know if you can see it reflecting in the light, a piece of transparent plastic. Now if you don't have the dies, that's absolutely fine. Just grab a piece of plastic. Now Stampin' Up! Do sell those transparent sheets, or you can just grab anything from, like, I don't know, some packaging, like when you buy some donuts or something, and just cut a circle, cut several circles. And what this is good for is for masking. So when you want to create a bit of a moon effect, say behind the fairy, I completely cribbed this off Lavinia's stamps. This is what she demonstrated and I loved it. So you can then get your sponge. Actually, I think we'll start with Bermuda Bay because Pretty Peacock's quite dark, isn't it? So you get your sponge, get some colour on there. Or you can use your blend brushes, whatever you prefer. And then you can do a little bit of sponging all the way around. Actually, if I turn that around, make it easier for me. It's quite nice because you can immediately see the difference between the 2 areas. And then voila, you have your lovely kind of like moon effect, which is really nice. Now around my elephants, I'm thinking I want a bigger circle. What do you think? Just wondering if I created almost like a moon effect behind them like that, and then sort of cut it off at that point there, that would look so cool. Oh, actually I've just remembered I've got another one here. Actually that one might be alright, rather than wasting your time while I do this. I'm going to use that one. Bigger circle, says Gina. Okay, I'll next time I've got a bit of spare time, I'll cut some bigger stencils of these for myself, I think. But for now, I'll just use this one. I guess if you have some sort of like tacky, sort of repositionable glue, you could maybe make your circle a bit tacky so that you don't have to hold it so hard. Right, now I also want to stamp something behind them so that you can actually see the outline of the elephants. So let me have a think what sort of... Oh, I've got the tree. Oops. Life is beautiful. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, all reeds. I don't think I've got any reeds at the moment though, so... Right, I don't want the whole tree. It's like a tree that you'd get in the savannah. It's like a short little tree. Give that a really good push. Oh yes, I could bring Forever Fern into this one. I'm going to cut this in half in a second, so... Yeah, my tree soon, says Martina. Yeah, you can order this on the 4th. I wonder if I cut it now, and then I could stick another little tree coming from the other side, can't I? Sorry, I'm just going to double check what size this is. Oh, it's 21, right. I'm going to make this an even shorter tree this time. I'm just going to remove some of the ink off there. Okay, and then I'm thinking it'd be nice to have some of these branches coming up by the fairy as well. Oh, you had a haircut today, Wendy. How exciting. That's brilliant. You got out then. Who's that? Hi, Virginia. I found you while you're still alive. Yay, you have. Yes, they're quite short, aren't they, the acacia trees? Oh, I like that. Right. Okay. these lovely, as if I don't need any more splatters, but I think these would work really nicely because they're just a bit different, this texture. Should I create a few more bubbles or something in the background? Yeah, that goes well, doesn't it? Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, these remind me a little bit of some of those cards you sent me, Wendy March. Okay, right, let's have a look at this. So I want to make some sort of ground effect here. So a really easy way of doing this is getting a scrap piece of paper and then tearing a bit of a kind of like landscape into it. There we go. Then getting your sponge. And just sponging like a little hill, really. There we go. I want to sort of hide the beginning of that tree. Make it look like it's actually growing out of something. I think I might do need some little reeds or something. I've just remembered, I just said, oh, I haven't got any reeds, but I have got some in my meadow, haven't I? Did Esther already shout that at me? Those ones there, isn't it? Just need some sort of little leaves. Oh, am I not inking this up properly? That's better. Right. I think I just might try and make, I suppose it could be like a sun, couldn't it, behind there. So I just want to make the area just behind, immediately behind the elephants, a bit brighter, so that when I take the mask off, you'll actually see a difference between the masked area and the non-masked area. Right, are you ready for the reveal? Ah, you see, I don't think that works. Maybe if I coloured them in. Go for a pale grey. Let's see what happens. Just subtle, nothing. I don't want it to be a very harsh difference between them, but I think there should be some differentiation. Just make sure I colour the correct bits in. Oop, there we go. Actually, I wonder if I could have just stamped some little splatters in behind them as well. That might have helped. So I'm just using the fine edge just to go over and over the sort of ridges in their trunks to make those spots a little bit darker. Okay. Right, I'll pop that back over. I think with the little spots, I won't use the tranquil tide, I'll use something a little bit less dark, so something like Coastal Cabana. Actually, it could be darker. Okay, let's see what happens now. Oh, that's a bit better. Although I am losing the sun a little bit, so shall we go over that again? Oh, it wasn't that one, was it? What did I do with it? Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Oh, there it is. Ah, that's better. Shows up a bit more now. Right, let's cut this down. Right, now this one, oh, got to have some little twinkly stars, haven't we? It's a fairy, for goodness sake. Got to have fairy dust. Now I've got to be I was just about to put it there, and then I thought, looks like she's farting fairy dust. No, we can't have that. Let's have the fairy dust there. In other spots. There we go. The set is not from Stampin' Up. Who asked me that? Deborah Broughton. They are from Lavinia Stamps. Because when I ordered the gel press plate, I accidentally sort of, you know, might have hit on to look at the stamps. And this was my... I had two in the basket, and I thought, no, I'm just going to buy one. So I bought this one. So laviniastamps.com. This is not a paid advertisement. I'm not getting paid to mention their name. But she does design with some beautiful stamps. So I've admired her for a very long time. So I thought it would be worth me just making one little purchase because she's so gorgeous, isn't she? There we go. Let's cut that down. Actually, I wonder if he'd be better on darker. Cute, yeah? Right, shall we have a quick play with some of the others then? So I've got the purpley one and the red one. Now it might be quite fun just to stamp with some really dark florals over the top of this, like I did the other day when I created a whole bright background and then stamped florals onto it. This might be quite fun just to see, you know, even where the, yeah, how it works, like the poppies, like aiming the poppies over the very red bits. And then maybe a smaller flower over the smaller sections. Let's have a look, see what other flowers I've got. Or even, you know, something like this. You know, where it's just, you know what, I'm going to just do that. Let's see what happens. Sort of aim that big blob of red there. I'll do both. I'll cut this in half and I'll do both. Just tidy up. I was going to say, I'm just going to tidy up a bit, as in shove everything over. Right, let's cut a piece of this. Oh, tulips. Yes, that might work actually, Martina. It's been a while since I used that stamp set, so... Right, I'm going to grab early espresso because sometimes I find black a little bit too harsh. Take up to your time when you're inking up a big stamp like this, because there's nothing worse than discovering, oh no, I didn't ink it up properly. Oh, it's very delicate. It's almost a bit too delicate, isn't it? We'll keep going though. I was wondering about some little dots. Actually, I even wondered about using some of these. Okay, this is just one big experiment, okay guys? It might not work, but we're just going to go for it and see what happens. It's just fun to try out all these lovely textures and layers on top of each other. So this is that lovely leaf from Beautiful Autumn. It's not out just yet, but it will be on the 4th of August. If you haven't got a copy of the new mini catalogue, please let me know. I can pop it in the post to you. Those of you who have got it, what's on your wish list? Still want this flower to show up a little bit more. I wonder if I just coloured it all in red, that might help it. Because I bet you guys can't hardly see it. And you know what, I don't in any way think this is cheating, because at the end of the day, yes, we've created this patterned paper, but we don't have to be slaves to it. Okay? If it's not working, if the design's not working, it's not working. So it's okay to go in there and try a different technique just to make it work, you know? There we go, that flower shows up much better now. And you know what, I've got the grey here still, so let's colour these leaves in grey as well. So you've got these sort of light grey tone over the top, and you can still see some of the pattern of the plate, you know, that we did coming through. That's okay. You know, rather than just throw this in the bin thinking, ah, it's not going to work, and it doesn't matter. This is all the process. There we go. Hi, Helen. Bit crazy, but fun. Yes, I have watched Barbara Gray. Not for a while, though. Yeah, she's super duper into her brayering, isn't she? Yeah, I haven't watched her for a little bit. Right, I think I'm going to stop there. Let's move on to the other one. What was the other thing someone said? Someone said something when I showed the red. Someone... The elephants? Christine? No, Deborah's... Oh, you're talking to Deborah, sorry. A bit of iridescent glitter on the fairy one. Yes, it would. Yeah, Winkerstaller. No, I used multifarious cardstock, which is sold by, it's recommended by Lavinia Stamps. But earlier on in the video, I did show you the difference between the multifarious and our cardstock. So this is Stampin' Up, and this is the multifarious. And I cannot really tell the difference between it. So I'm very proud to say that our Stampin' Up cardstock is of equal quality to the multifarious, because my heart did sink when I saw this lady demonstrate with it, and I thought, oh my goodness, she's getting such gorgeous results. Like, I really do hope our Stampin' Up paper, you know, mounts up to this, and it does. So I'm really, really pleased about that. I think it's to do with the density of the fibres and the fineness of the fibres. Right, I've just remembered what I was going to do. And I said I was going to stamp something dark, didn't I? So I think I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to stamp in dark brown over the top of this. See what happens. Again, ink up very carefully. Make sure you really spend the time just tapping. Not too pushing too hard, just multiple taps to make sure that there's lots of ink on that stamp. And I'm giving it a good press and time. It's important to give it time for the colour to soak into the card. Ah, to me it hasn't worked out dark enough. Now I don't know if that's the card or the ink or what, because that is the multifarious. I'm going to just try it on the Stampin' Up card and see if it's any better. Trying to do the same amount of pushing and now I know that that is got white on underneath it, so it shows up better, but actually the transfer, there's a little bit of cracking here, and I think our cardstock actually works better. Yes, it could be it's because it's distinctive, you're quite right, so it could be that too, but just looking at the difference between, I don't know if it's coming up on the camera, but I don't know if you can see that little bit of cracking there. Doesn't seem to have it on our card, so there we go. Maybe it was the wrong kind of stamp then. I should have chosen something different. Let's have a look. Let's go for this one. And let's be fair to it, we do need a mat underneath. Or it could be my ink pad needs re-inking. That could be the case. Right. You know what, I'm going to bring my purple one in. This is the new, what's this called? Joyful Holly. I nearly called it Jolly Holly then, but Joyful Holly. That's going to be available very soon. Let's do something fun with this. They look like water lilies. They do at the moment, but they're not going to look like that for much longer. Not with a bit of holly sticking out of them. The fairies are not SU, Deborah. Yeah, they're Lavinia stamps. This one is called... Oh, just trying to find the piece of paper. I'll have a look in a minute. Oh, I know what. Oh, it's on my my invoice. It's called the Faith Fairy. So if you go to laviniastamps.com, there'll be links to show you how to purchase. Want to see her in action again? I must say that it doesn't seem to stain like the Stampin' Up ones, but then I've not used her on red yet. So the brown might be the test, but I'll try using her on red and see if if she gets as stained. Oh, did I just get ink on there? Yeah, it's more ethereal with the holly, isn't it? Oh yes, I forgot about the dottage. Oh, I wanted just to do some delicate leaves now. Oh, I've still got the fairy dust to go on yet, haven't I? What I'm calling the fairy dust. I love how you can have a stamp that depending on the context, you call it something different. So these can either be snowflakes or fairy dust or glorified splatters or whatever you want, really. It's great, isn't it? Stars on the wind, yes, all those. Right, let's cut this up, see where it takes us. Yeah, or dandelion seeds, yeah. Martina, I can imagine you getting up very early on the morning of the 4th of August to order that stamp. Right, I'm just doing a little bit of tidying up before the mountain collapses on me. because I want to show these off. And I want to move all this away. There we go. Ah. It's a bit better, isn't it? Let's see what's happening now. Get everything back in so we can critique it. Right, everybody. So this was my plate earlier today. These ones. When I first unwrapped it and had a play, just to see what one can do with it. So that was my first play. And then the play from tonight, actually that was the first one that I did, the red one, wasn't it? So we used Calypso Coral, Blushing Bride, what else? Is that clear, the image? Yeah. Ah, does she, Christine? That's great. Right, so that one was my tester. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one. But it's really fun. It's like a galaxy. It's great. So that was it. Was stamped with that lovely floral stamp from So Much Love. That one. And I mixed in that leaf from Beautiful Autumn. This one here. And then it also had some of the dots from Life is Beautiful with the tree. That one. They came in handy quite a lot tonight. So I'm just going to take the camera out a little bit because I'm just realising I'm not a bit too far out. There we go, that's better. Oh, bye Gina. There we go, right. So that was the 3 stamps used on that one. Then we have this one here. So as I said, the fairy stamp is from Lavinia Stamps. It's not a Stampin' Up one. And then we use the Life is Beautiful tree. We use those lovely dots and the fairy dust. And then masked off with a clear piece of plastic to create that kind of like moon, cool moon effect. So that's that one. And then elephants was a little bit trickier. I wonder if actually it would have been fun to colour that all in dark or darker so that you end up with more of a silhouette. So yeah, perhaps these would have been better off dark. But, you know, first play and all that. I do like the effect of the trees. So a landscape would have been nice, I think. That would have been fun. And it creates this really cool, fun, kind of like sky and whatever. Yeah, it looks very magical, doesn't it? And then we just had a play with stamping with the early espresso onto this purpley one. So I think to get that purple background I used Balmy Blue and Highland Heather with the brayer, and then sprinkled over some yellow brushes and blue brushes just to get that splotchy background. So okay, so if you've got any questions, please ask me now. I'm sorry if you've asked me questions and I've not seen. I've hardly looked at my screen. So pile of stuff means a pile of something. Yes, stuff. Stuff is belongings, things. They're all very cool looking. I think my favourite is the purple with just the flowers. Ah, there we go. That one. Yeah. Sorry, my screen doesn't feel like it's very bright. Ah, there we go. Oh, turn it up. Ah, I can see properly now. Yes, I wanted it to look a bit like the sun. Let's bring these back. that's what I was kind of aiming for. You can also sort of try and make it look like the moon as well. With that one it looks like the moon, and that one it looks like the sun. Aren't circles versatile, hey? Is it me, or is the screen not? No, it must be my daughter's screen. I'm looking at the thing and it just doesn't look very clear at all. But oh, as opposed to piles and pile. Yeah. Yeah, they are two different things, Martina. Indeed. Love a good circle. Love a good circle. I know. They come, I was going to say they come in all shapes and sizes, but they don't. They only come in circles. And, but they do come in all sort of sizes, which is great. You love them all. Your favourite is the fairy one. Great. Right. Thank you very much for joining me on this process. Bit different for me. New thing to play with. So jelly press or John Next Door media plate, whatever you want to call it. That's what it was called. So it was $9.49 for the large, that rectangle, which I thought was worth getting the slightly bigger one because it means that I can, if I want to make a smaller card, I could. The fairy stamp was £7.19 and the cardstock was £5.99 for 20 sheets. So considering that our cardstock is £7.25 for 24 A4 sheets, so you'd get 48 A5 sheets for £7.25. I think ours is a little bit better value. However, the multifarious is a little bit thicker, I would say. It's a little bit thicker than our Stampin' Up one. But I think it stamps just as well, if not better. Okay? So I know, SU rocks, what can you say? Yeah. So it was, I mean, good quality, very good quality product. I must say, this card, I am impressed by it. But it was just nice to know that Stampin' Up, you know, we're definitely up there when it comes to good quality card. So there we go. Take care, Dee Dee. Lovely to see you. Deborah Mitchum, so many ideas. Oh, good, good. Go and play. Go forth and play. I know some of you do have jelly plates that you've not used yet. So good night, Liz. Or take care, everybody, and hopefully see you again soon. All right. Lots of love to you all. Bye.